So welcome to my first, and hopefully not last, video on the new SimCity. If you hang out on the website Simtropolis, and if you don't, you totally need to go make an account, I go by the username him. On Origin, I go by Militant Veggies. Before I get too far into this video, I should mention that this project is an as I have time and interest type of deal, so updates on this thing could be kind of sporadic. Now, if you read my post-trip write-up about the Community Day event, and if you did, thank you. You might remember me talking about city specializations and mentioning that drilling for oil was not the path to unlimited wealth. As it turns out, that statement was oddly prophetic, but for reasons I wasn't really expecting. It seems everyone wanted to become an oil baron, so in their rush to riches, well, they wound up crashing the price for oil. Naturally, everyone wants to get into refining for the profit margins, but the low oil prices are making it difficult for some people to do that. Now, I'll admit, my first attempt at getting the refinery failed horribly. But I couldn't turn my back on oil, so after much meditation and channeling of my inner oil baron, I tried it again. Folks, I struck Texas tea. Big time. So this video is to show people how I did it, in case some of the other methods for unlocking the refinery don't really appeal to you. I follow two rules of success with unlocking the refinery. The first is location, 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 because picking the right location really does make it a lot easier for you to unlock the refinery in an easy manner. Since flat cities are easier to develop, my general idea was that I was going to go find a region like Titan Gorge, which had a lot of flat cities, and, pick one that had a lot of oil. So that led me to the Pioneer Plains city in Flat Gorge. Excuse me, not Flat Gorge, Titan Gorge. As we can see from the data layer, all of our oil is concentrated in this super rich pool in a corner of the city, which is exactly what we want to see. A huge pool of oil to support us for a long time, yet spread out over a large enough area to support several oil fields all at once. So my next question is, where is the water that I need to support this town? We can see that I've got quite a bit of water in this city, which is a good thing considering I have quite a bit of pollution also. But that's just how it goes with industry and whatnot, so another day in the park. If we take a quick check of the wind direction, it shows that the wind direction is favorable, so I should be able to place my Sims alongside the oil deposit so they aren't downwind of it and then pollute to my heart's content without making the Sims suffer any ill effects like breathing pollution and germs and all that bad stuff. So following the logic that location is one of the most important parts of constructing a successful oil empire, let's look at how the city is laid out. Air pollution is a fact of life with the oil industry, so if we don't want to be blowing pollution onto the Sims and stressing out our health services as a result, we need to site the residential neighborhood so the wind blows the pollution away from their homes, or at least not onto it. Furthermore, since air pollution seems to spread outward the further the wind blows, we want to place the Sims relatively close with the pollution source and equal with it, so that if any pollution blows by them, it blows by in a nice tight pattern with little room for diffusion. Given these constraints, that gives us really just this corner of the map as the only sensible place to build the Sims. Obviously not all of the Sims can work in the oil fields, so I'm going to need some industry. Any industry at this stage is going to be dirty industry, which is going to cause massive pollution. So if we don't want the Sims to breathe that pollution, we're going to have to site the industry downwind of the residential too. As you can see, I placed the industry downwind of the residential to keep the pollution at bay. However, this is only a portion of the siting puzzle, as it leads us to the second rule of unlocking the refinery: manage your traffic. If traffic is flowing smoothly, unlocking the refinery is fairly simple. If your trucks are tied up in a traffic jam, and another traffic jam, and another traffic jam, then the refinery becomes almost impossible to unlock. So what do I mean by manage your traffic? In short, control how your traffic flows to ensure that critical vehicles, like the trade trucks, can get where they need to go without delay. This is one of those things where it seems like there are many different ways to approach this issue, and there are, and every method is valid so long as it accomplishes the intended goal. For this city, my traffic management strategy was to 1. Provide the trade trucks an efficient way to move through the city, and 2. Keep the Sims off that pathway as much as possible. I achieved the first by going through and building the roads so that we were managing the right-of-way of who got to move. High-density roads have right-of-way over medium-density roads, so the road to the oil fields and the road to the high-density avenue are both high-density roads to give the truck traffic priority over the Sims. I achieved this second objective, namely, controlling where the Sims can go, by placing all the commercial buildings on the road connecting the residential streets, and then requiring that road to be used for all the traffic to the industrial center. This way, unless a Sim works in the oil fields, there's absolutely no justification for it to get on the high-density streets I made for carrying the trade trucks. At this point, things should practically run themselves. It took me 6 maxed out oil fields, but I also mismanaged my trade depots, so you may find that 60 pump jacks is overkill. I also suggest making the Department of Finance the first upgrade you make to City Hall, as the ability to take out 100,000 simoleon loans is very useful in putting in new oil fields at a much faster rate. Additionally, you may also find it helpful to purposefully keep the population down to help control traffic. Anyway, that's my video for how to unlock the refinery. To those of you who have been having difficulty with getting the refinery, I hope this is a useful model or a source of inspiration in your quest for oil greatness. Thanks for watching.